Hey, what up, everyone? Dude, I laugh at the new intro every time. Like, I think it's way
Dude,
better than
yeah,
there's.
you're skipping and hilarious, but I feel sorry for everybody that just blew out their speakers.
Yeah, it's a little loud, so I gotta
It
fix that.
is. I don't know why it was so loud this time.
It didn't seem
Like,
like it was that loud last time. Either way, I'm gonna remove it so that Jason said the same thing too when I gave him the actual like clip for it. He was like, "It's a little loud." I was like, "Yeah,
yeah,
I gotta fix it." So, well, I will fix it now because now I've deleted it. I have to fix it.
yeah.
So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Thin Line Defense live chat. This is your opportunity to talk about all sorts of gear and optics and total random garbage. We have topics that we set for the day, which is usually whatever we did for our reviews earlier in the week, but that really just sets the framework of the things we're definitely not going to talk about. Joe, have you noticed I fixed my camera? So
Yeah.
actually, I look somewhat decent this time around. So thanks everyone and welcome. We'll probably talk a little bit about our videos we did this week. Oh, yeah. So Quarantine Catholic says, we're going to get this one. It feels like I have a new mic. I have my old mic, but I have a new computer and I don't know how to hook it up. It's just not working. So I was trying to fix it, hook it up while I was talking to Joe with like 10 seconds to spare, and that just did not work out.
Yeah.
So I'll fix it. We're using this
So
horrible
Walsh, for
mic.
everybody, you know that friend that you have that always showing up really late or just like barely on time, half ready, and then they're grabbing everything and throwing everything in the car and they're going frantic. Walsh is our friend that is like that. So yeah,
Usually.
I was ready. I was ready to get on at 7 o'clock so we could talk through things and test stuff. My wife pulled up with a truck full of groceries at 7:07, and I still beat Welch down here. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have coffee tonight. Like I have nothing ready. Camera was barely set up. I was supposed to fix it last week. Microphone don't even work. So you guys got this whatever hook and juke stuff going on here. I'll get my fancy microphone working. I don't know, later. We'll figure it out. I'll need Joe to help me try to troubleshoot it.
yeah,
So yeah, welcome everyone. So Joe, I was doing a fun one. People were asking me this week to do like they want me to do the primary arms, like the little. Have you seen the little Vulcan ACSS Vulcan reticle compared to like the normal Holosun circle and dot? So
no,
I'm just kind of curious on your input before I get into the comments and stuff and we get into all of our stories. But the one of the main differences in the normal Holosun, it has like the normal 2 MOA dot
yeah,
and then like a circle reticle.
yeah,
And
I hate
then
those.
and see, and it's very I don't hate it. I mean I kind of middle ground. But the primary arms one has a chevron. So I'm just kind of curious your thoughts on chevrons. I like them.
I like them.
I don't think there's any.
Honestly, in a pistol red dot, that's actually a brilliant idea because a 2 or 6 MOA dot, right? It depends on what you want. Anywhere between 2 and 6. I get why you would want a all the way down to a 2. I get why you would want all the way up to a 6. It's a bigger dot, but that literally covers 6 MOA at 100 yards, right? So your bullet's going to impact if you walk down range somewhere within 6 MOA, even if you have the most precise gun in the world, it's going to hit somewhere in between there because that dot is covering up that much space, right? So that's why people like the 2, but on a pistol, do you really need a 2? And it's easier to pick up a 6 MOA or whatever. A chevron would solve all those problems. And it would also solve problem for anybody with astigmatism, which I didn't even know I had, but I guess I do. Okay. Like I've used aim point and stuff and never had a problem with it, but some of the cheaper optics that I've been using, they have the starburst thing,
Mm.
and I'm actually diagnosed with astigmatism. So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean that I'm intrigued. I would love to try one.
it's just interesting.
Because you could put the chevron on anything, right? At close range, the chevron like a big old 6 MOA dot, right? You could put it on anything. But if
But
you want actual precision shooting, if you adjust it right to the tip of that chevron, then you have precise shooting too.
yeah,
I
without the
like it.
negative, and that's why I was kind of curious what you thought. I like it. I've just been trying it out, and I was kind of surprised. There's a couple people who I just saw a couple of videos where some people really like went off the rails on their hate for the chevron, and I'm kind of sitting there. I'm like, man, all the reasons you're saying you dislike it are the reasons that I do like it. Particularly like what you said, it's like a 6 MOA dot, but without all the negatives. it's just like, because I still have all the open space between the chevron also, so I can still see those objects. And it's not just this huge, like, well, here, your vision's completely occluded for this entire blob.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be willing to bet that we have a different mentality, and I'm not saying anybody out there wrong. You shoot how you want to shoot, and you go to the range and do what you want. But a lot of people at the range want to put holes in holes, and luckily I talked to you before you really got into shooting, and we don't shoot like that. So that chevron, all I have to do is have any of that red part on any of the body part that I want to hit, and I'm pulling the trigger. Like I don't need precision at 5 yards when my life is in jeopardy. Like I'm not even looking through the red dot when I fire my first 3 shots.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that. Is it one of those box sights though?
No. What do you mean? What do you mean box sights?
Like, what does the actual sight look like? Does it look like a TV screen, or does it look like a regular red dot?
It's the normal. It's the normal 507C.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you're done with it, send it to me. I'll try it out for you.
Yeah. So here, see if I can evoke. See how that center. So it has and I'm going to show this in the video this weekend. But so instead of having a dot, it has the chevron, then this big ring on the outside to help direct you back to center.
Well, I hate the ring on the outside. Can you turn the ring on the outside off?
You can, but I don't recommend it. Like in any sort of standard, like this is kind of what I realized. If you're just shooting like the normal, like you're in perfect position, you're fully squared up. Like we both know, like we can see the dot with our eyes closed. Like if you train enough, you can close it, the dot's gonna be there. But when you start doing some really screwy stuff, like you're in weird positions or you're coming from a weird angle,
like that I can see the point of that, right? So you're not
fishing around
for it, right? I can see the point in that. But anything outside of that, the circle around it drives me nuts. Like every time that I actually get a good draw and then the circle around it, I hate it, dude. I hate it.
So here's the thing I noticed, and I'll show this with the Sunday video. I'm kind of leaking into what I'm showing Sunday. But like if you have when I do my normal presentation, I never even see the circle.
It's big enough where you don't see it? Huh.
It's so big that if you have a really good
I forget what brand it was. Would you mention before Hollison? Yeah. Oh no, Primary Arms. Yeah. I think maybe I don't know. It was on somebody else's gun that I'm messing with and that I stippled for him and stuff like that. But I did some draws and stuff in my house, and I despised it because it was a clear day circle with a dot in the middle of it, and the circle covered up so much of everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, this is different. Like, cause when you if you do a good draw, all you see is the chevron. Like if you really had a really good presentation, it wouldn't dawn on you that the circle was there until way later.
All right, let's stop talking about it. I don't have money to spend on this right now.
What's funny is I was just kind of seeing like what your thoughts were, and I say that because like there was a lot of hate on the chevron, and like what's funny is I asked Joe kind of blind. We didn't even talk about this beforehand, and you echoed exactly my thoughts without even saying anything and what I say in the Sunday video. So it's kind of cool that you said the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's a no-brainer to me, but that's for me and my mission and how I shoot and everything else. I notoriously run 3 MOA red dots on pistol because I want to be more accurate. Like on the dueling tree, go to a dueling tree and run a 6 MOA dot, and you'll know why.
Yeah.
If you're if you're standing 5 yards from it, it's not going to make a difference. But when you're trying to shoot a 6-inch plate from 25, 30 yards away, and you're competing against somebody standing beside you, it's a whole different ballgame. Like go do a dueling tree. If you haven't done a dueling tree, find a gun range that has a dueling tree and grab a buddy and go and do it. And only load up like 10 rounds each, and so it teaches you how to shoot fast and conserve ammo. Because if you fire off bang 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 and hit all your targets, and they start flipping on back, and then you lose a round or you mess around or whatever, you're gonna lose if they hit all their targets. It's not only about fast, it's also about accuracy.
Yeah,
it's good fun.
So I did want to mention today. So hey, Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Joe is, of course, celebrating. I am wearing as much green as possible in my defense mechanisms. The colors are all still wonky with this camera, but whatever. Defense mechanisms, MEPC. I'm rocking like multicam Tropic on everything. Joe,
It's
he
green.
did put on green patch. I got the full multicam Tropic loadout today going on. So sound off in the comments, or I think I'm on Discord. Sound out on Discord if you're showing off some of your St. Patty's Day gear that you got going on.
Yeah, but if they're not tactical green, then it don't count. So if you're wearing like neon green, it don't count.
It counts.
So like the green in multicam, that counts. OD green, of course, counts.
What's that one? The super meme one, the squared one that people are like thought it was the coolest. It's like that night. Oh, I forget what it is. That weird night pattern. It's like all a bunch of squares. I don't know.
Multicam black has green in it.
It does technically.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, go into some comments. So Caleb, what's up, Caleb? Welcome. Good to see you. Before we came in, there's a bunch of people who were all just saying hello to each other and coming in here and chatting before we even got here. Quarantine Catholic, I did mention the new microphone is saying hello to you. I'm also conscious now that this microphone sucks, but
it's fine.
It's not that bad. I'll get the other one. I definitely want the other one. Bread or Buried says hello. I don't think we've met Bread before, so welcome. The Dude, howdy, welcome. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hey, the dude came back.
The dude did come back. Mike, welcome. He's one of our YouTube members, so thanks, Mike, for coming back, saying hello to us. Good to see you. Oh, here you go, Joe, from Caleb. Here you go, Joe. Wizard Dance Magic, Wizard Dance.
Yes, thank you. I've already done like 3 drinks, but
yeah, that's all right. So when we were talking about the chevron, some people were giving some input to. I think he was talking about whether or not he liked it. He says so. Archangel says he loves it. Talking about that, the ACSS Vulcan says he has 2. The dude says the chevron gives different ranging options as well. I noticed that in the packaging, but like 9 mil, it kind of had a weird spot where you could go even out.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense too, especially if you go out and do your own dope cart, range cart, whatever you want to call it, where you sight the tip of the chevron in at 10 yards and then step back to 50 and put like the bottom of the chevron on the target and fire around and walk up and see where you hit, or put like the legs, if you draw a line across and guesstimate where the center off the bottom of the legs at 50 yards, see where that hits. Like you could do your own range stuff with the same 9 mil.
And I was even talking about that in terms of an offset red dot. So let's say you play offset red dot. It's cool that you have a dot, like if you have an like the normal circle dot, whatever. But then now if you have a chevron, same deal. Now you have a little bit of a ranging marker. Like you could do your smart 0 like a 5200, but then be like, I can still hit out. I can hit out much further than that because I can use the legs if I have to in a pinch. I wouldn't want to, but you could.
No, but if you had to, and I would like the idea of getting like a LPVO if you're running an LPVO. That's why I would run a red dot, or I guess any type of scope. But if you have a chevron in your scope, it's an easy it's an awesome transition over to the chevron. I'm liking that idea more and more, dude. Like,
I like it a lot. There's a whole bunch.
Let's stop talking about it. Next comment. I can't spend any money right now, dude. Okay. So my favorite libertarian says Huxworks is including a QD muzzle device with their suppressors now. If anyone is thinking about that, can. Mine is at the dealer, but the ATF might get upset if I take it home right now. Yep. So I got 2. I got 2 at the dealer. That's awesome to hear that they have their own QD. My favorite libertarian. What kind of is it a proprietary? I'm assuming it is the QD muzzle device system, or is it something like Chemo or something else? They all do their own, so I'm just assuming it's proprietary. So, this is just for you, Joe. I'm saving up for a new P320 slide and the 509T ACSS. That's the Mac monitor one with that same. Why is that for me?
No, he's just saying because he's saving up too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a 320.
Everyone's talking about so Zach. Oh, good to see Zach too. By the way, I haven't got to say hi to him yet, but he says you're gonna love the. You see, he says you're gonna love the ring. I agree. I was surprised. I think when you see my video, you're gonna be surprised because I was like,
if when I pull it up, if I can't see the ring, but the one that I was using, like literally with a perfect side alignment, you saw a ring with a dot in the middle of it. And
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like, going through them, and I'm like, well, at least you could turn it off.
So yeah, and I think I see it's on the box.
And
I'm gonna
dude,
show
the
you.
ring was so thick, like it covered your sight, your point of view.
You can
It
barely
it drew your attention to everywhere else.
see this one.
No,
Sure.
I'm on
You
a
can't.
phone.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're this big to me.
I'll send you a picture later. But basically,
Okay,
where the sight window is, the ring is way on the outside of the sight window.
yeah, then that would be fine.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this anymore.
Okay, ring is cheap. Yes, yes. We don't talk about this anymore. You only see the circle if you're off center. Yes, thanks, Zach. The dude says it will be a bit of an upgrade over his Romeo 1. Cody ended up getting one of those Romeo 1s. We liked that a lot. It did
Was
really
it,
well.
or was it a Romeo 1 Pro? Because there
Oh,
is a difference.
I don't know.
One's like $100, one's like $400.
And then, like, what's funny is Sig put out a new optic, and I kind of like trolled them a little bit. I was like, does this have the same dumb optic profile as the other one? And they're like, no, it's the same one. And I didn't even know. I was like, that doesn't even answer my question. Like, I don't.
So yes, it is the same dumb one that will only fit on one of your 8 different slides that you make, and nobody else makes a cut for it.
I hate the Pro Cut slide. Like, they did their own Pro Cut slide, that's like a specialty P320 slide.
Yeah,
But then it only had that weirdo cut.
It's rounded at the front and flat at the back or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Cody is the most diehard SIG lover out there, and it took him buying 3 different red dots and getting them in the mail and having to send 2 of them back.
It took 6 months too. Remember that? Because the one it took was going to be 4 months. Wrong one. Send it back. Wrong one. And it wasn't just him. Like, we were advising too. Like, no, you need this. And we're all like, no. And that's what we all got like super smart on it. And like, no.
And there's even pictures on the internet on it. What slide you have depends on what optic you can buy and put on. It's the dumbest thing ever. I think everybody should go to the RMR cut. And if you have a slide that's smaller than RMSC or whatever for the micro mini, whatever you want to call it good. And SIG went above. I love their red dots. They're Romeo 5. What do I have? The Romeo 7 that I haven't even gotten to shoot yet. Love all that stuff. But their pistol red dots, absolute trash, garbage. I'll never buy one because I have no idea if they'll fit on my gun.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then you hear like new optics, and they're like, oh, it's going to be on the doctor profile. Like, bro, I don't even know where to get a slide. That, like, it's just so annoying. If you buy an optic, then you have to like go and source out a pistol.
Well, the company will figure it out eventually because everybody already has the RMR cuts. So when they bring out all the optics and they're not selling, but yet company like Hollow Sun and stuff like that makes them in the RMR cut, Swamp Fox, all them, they're going to keep climbing and selling, and they're going to be like, what are we doing wrong? It's our marketing.
Yeah, so you're selling something
no,
wrong.
idiot. I don't know if that'll fit my gun. And I'm not. There's so many good things out there that I'm not gonna hassle with it.
And I don't want it. Here's my thing. I don't want anything but an RMR cut, because right now I want all my slides and all my optics to be the same. So if I could just swap out optics between all the slides, I don't want to have one random one. Like, oh, this is my doctor cut slide with the one optic. I can't put anything else on this one, but the other ones can't. Like, no. Yeah. I'm not going to do all that.
No. Get out of here with that garbage.
Yeah. So Croak, hello, howdy. We're still saying hello to some people.
Good.
Mike said, yo, wizard dance magic, wizard +1 level, wizard dem knees, wizard truth books, wizard tech earth. So good to see you, Mike. Good to hear from you. Caleb did say he has camo pants on. That does absolutely count. That is some green.
Yep, if they're green in it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Zombie green gun.
There's a bunch of green in there. Most like cam black, dude.
Yeah. Oh, so Zachary, so there's this super meme pattern. It's called Desert Night. So Joe, just some history for you. Back in the day, probably when you were back deployed, there was one of the jackets. It was a super crap jacket that was reversible. It was tan on one side and Desert Night. It was one of those, probably one of the first gen Gore-Tex we had that like sounds like the world's exploding if you move it all. Like, it's the loudest jackets that we've ever owned. And you could invert them, and it had this weird Desert Night pattern that was supposed to like break up infrared. It didn't actually work, but I don't know. I think there's some sort of Call of Duty following with it, and then like for some reason those jackets, it would sell it the thrift store for like $6 because that was their actual value. Like that's what they're worth. And now they go for like $400 or $500.
Oh, nice.
Bonkers. I don't know. I think they're horrible.
Yeah. I don't need
my
a trash
favorite-
bag when I'm out.
I
If I want to wear a trash bag for being waterproof, I'll do like we did as a kid and just cut a U-shaped hole in it and throw on an actual trash bag.
I only wear those loud Gore-Texes when I shovel snow because then I just don't care. Like so I'll just be loud and obnoxious out there. When you're just scraping, it just sounds like some guy just like, what is happening out there? Like this disaster. Like
raccoons are in the trash again.
It sounds like someone just crumbling paper and shoveling snow outside. Like, what is that idiot doing?
Did he put newspaper in a jacket for insulation?
Sounds like it from 3 houses down. Folks says he might have some broccoli stuck in his teeth. There you go. That's being festive. Mike did say he just ordered the Surefire SOCOM RC2 with his first can. So let me know, Mike, if you did the Efile or if you did it paper. I have one of both currently going. I've heard rumor that some of the E-files were like 50 days. I'm not believing that for a form.
They're fucking dope.
I'm not believing that, but I'm staying optimistic. It's supposed to be like 90 days. That would be awesome if it's that fast. I heard the paper ones are like 300 plus days. So it's like more than a year now to get your stuff back, which is freaking ridiculous. But let me know about your RC2. Yeah, let me know which form you did, because I mean we could say what it is now, but I'll be honest with you, by the time it comes in, I'm gonna forget what you told me. Because I heard that one is awesome too for like flash mitigation and sound. I think it doesn't do as much sound mitigation, but a ton of flash mitigation. Zachary says, oh yeah, Desert Night Camo. Quarantine Catholic says the mic is just fine. I'm gonna get my good one fixed. We'll get it fixed. But if this one's all right, maybe I won't stress too much about it.
Not if he actually has me help with troubleshoot it. It'll never be fixed again. I'll be like, all right, you see that hammer right there? Just whack it a couple times. Yeah. Is it working now? Wizard dance magic, wizard them knees.
So Misfit says hello. What's up, Misfit? Haven't chatted with you in a little bit. Let me know. I'm sure you always have something cool you're cooking up, and I haven't got to chat with you about whatever new stuff you're working on. So let me know, Misfit, if there's any cool stuff you've been doing lately. My Favorite Libertarian says yes, the Huxworks QD is proprietary. It's pretty sweet looking. Basically a twisting A2 flash hider. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like the
old school. Going old school with that A2, huh?
I think it kind of makes sense though with the Huxwork, like kind of their whole thing they're doing, like how the gases kind of turn back around and come forward, like having that twisting flash hider. Kind of makes sense to me. That's pretty cool.
But I'm not digging. I'm just saying a fact that if it's actual A2, it's a compensator, not a flash hider. I'm not digging, but there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't, whatever.
Yeah, it's a compensator because there's no slits in the bottom of it. So it actually reduces muzzle rise.
A normal bird cage?
Yeah. If it's an A2, if you look, there's slits all around. That's the flash hider part. But it's solid on the bottom. So the gases hit that, they escape out the side, and it helps reduce muzzle flip. And that's why it's called a compensator, because it was different than the A1.
What if I install it upside down?
Then you're dumb. And you'll get a lot of muzzle rise. I don't know. You should try it though.
Yeah.
Dude, next gun video you do. If I do another gun video, are you still with me? If I do another gun video, I'm gonna install it upside down just to see if anybody sees it.
So what's funny is I have a really good God, I can't remember who sent it to me. A really good compensator. It was from it's for 6.5 Creedmoor, and it's for it was just like this long, really cool one. And I was like, dang, this thing is awesome. I'm shooting super flat. I kind of sent it over to the company. They're like, send me a picture of it again. And so I sent them over a picture like, you installed it upside down. Like the ports the whole time we're shooting straight. It's still shooting flat as hell. So I was like, well, yeah, I'll fix it. But either way.
But you go to the prone and you're like, why is it so dusty all the time?
I bet I'm cleaning out the whole range today. This is good. Whole muzzle blaster you got going on here. So Michael Costanza says, hey, Joe, great video on your rattle canning your rifle. would you consider rattle canning your mask to match your AR?
No, I wouldn't consider that. Thank you very much for the comment. I know my video are not the production quality of Walsh's. I do it with a GoPro in my garage, pretty much. So thank you very much for that. I'm just trying to give people an idea and get them motivated. One of the comments, I looked at the comment for like the first couple days and then turned it over to Walsh. But one of the comments I wanted to explain, somebody has said, hey, you know, great video. I'm not trying to be that guy on YouTube, but you don't have to take apart all the pieces that you did. And I'm sorry for not explaining that in the video. He's absolutely correct. You can, I mean, I suggest closing the dust cover, but close the dust cover and rattle can away. I took the parts off just because, excuse me, I wanted to leave certain parts black. I like that, you know, contrast, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. But that's how I Cerakote a lot of my guns. Walsh was like, first time I'm painting a gun for Walsh, I'm like, no, do the whole thing. I'm like, dude, trust me on this. Like, I'm taking all the pieces off, and it's going to have pops of black everywhere, and it breaks it all up. Because I think all one solid color, even if it's a camo pattern on a gun, makes it look like a toy. It makes it look kind of fake and cheap. But that's just my personal opinion. So I took all the parts off in order to keep them black. And honestly, if I wasn't using like just common tool that people would have, I would have taken that thing down a lot more. Because the dust cover, I wanted off. I wanted the dust cover black. But I would have to use barrel nut, and I said, nope, only common hand tools, you know, that everybody would have in their garage. So thank you very much. I did bring it. I brought just the buttstock. You can't, it's hard to see with this stupid lighting.
Good though.
Yeah.
And like, even I know like how you did it on my Beowulf, I would have probably not done the actual like latch. You know, like those little accents. Like, but like you're saying,
this
mag release, the bolt catch, the roll pins. I would have left all those black. I like those little accents to make it look like it was made that way and then assembled instead of like, oh, someone just painted over this.
Yeah, it makes it like some of the rifle that I painted, if you look, I even take this piece off. I take this piece off of here and then put them back on to where they're black on here. But it's a pain. It's an absolute pain, especially the latch right here. That's an absolute pain to get off and on. This is a roll pin that you have to knock out. So because it was spray paint, I left that stuff on.
So just so you know, too, we always request it because Joe is like, no, it's going to look so much better. And there's always like, wait, can you do some accents on the stock so it'll match? And he's like, yeah, of course. Then it'll like flow. Like there's these accent pieces. But then every single time he'll bitch about the CTRs, he'll be like, do you know how much of a pain it is to take that apart? I'm like, I don't, but can you do it, please?
Yeah. Dude, you got to get 2 screwdrivers in there and pry them off, and you feel like you're going to break it, and the screwdrivers slip, and you stab yourself in the hand. I've done it twice.
I'll complain every time.
I will. But I still do it.
Okay. Next question. Misfit says, have you heard about the reduced battery life on the ACSS due to the huge outer ring? So, I'll touch on this. When you see the battery life on some of those optics, particularly ones like the 507C or anything else with an additional reticle or additional thing outside of the 2 MOA dot, they're giving you the hours, not counting on those. So like a 507C may have 50,000 hour battery life with just the dot. You turn on that circle, I think when I talk to him, I think it's like 20 or 25K with the circle on. So I would say it would be around that also for that, but it's a moot point. It's a huge issue on like an RMR when you got to unmount it and everything else, and then torque down all the screws and all that. But the fact that you have a side loading battery tray, I mean, whoop-de-doo. Like your optic goes out.
Shake to wake?
It is. It's also shake to wake. It also has that.
Come on.
Yeah.
25,000 hour with shake to wake, like
it's infinite.
Yeah.
Like I still have my.
The battery will corrode and get nasty in there before you have to change it out.
Like my 509, the very first optic I have, that 503G, that red dot that has like the markings on it, Joe. Like I did my very first video on it. That's on the same first battery.
Yeah.
Like I've never even changed that. Like
even on a daily carry, you got to think how many hours a day are you carrying it? 10,000. You got to have a calculator on that new fancy computer. So if you're carrying it for 10 hours a day, like do 25,000 divided by 10, which is what, 250? No, 2,500. 2,500 days.
So that's how many years?
Yeah.
Which is
4.
No, it's every
Oh
day
yeah,
for
7. Yeah.
7 years.
7 year. The battery will corrode, and like if you don't change out your battery in 7 years, then you're probably going to be either sitting there with a wire brush or buying a new optic.
Your gun would have it would have been invaded with lint by the time you carried it every day for that much time.
And that's if you carry it every day for the entire year for 10 hours every day.
Yeah, that's it's only 25,000. Just think, if you use the other reticle option, which you can switch to, then it lasts 14 years.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about it. Okay, but yeah, and then the 507C also has solar, so you can use that too. It only uses solar in auto though, which they're going to fix this in the future one. I don't like the auto mode because the auto mode uses a light sensor on top. So if you're shooting from dark into light, it's going to dim it down. Well, another way around. Either way, you can get it you get it messed up where it doesn't brighten up the reticle to shoot into bright. Yeah, it'll go dim.
Yeah.
And
I found that with an actual RMR, right, Trijicon RMR, I found that super annoying because when you turn on a flashlight, it thinks that it is dark in the room, right? So it's super dim, and you have a flashlight on, and your flashlight washes out your red dot. I hate that.
Yeah, so I leave my, I don't do any of the auto, but that makes it so you can't use the solar. I use a set brightness. I do the lockout mode. I kind of set it at like a medium to high, just leave it.
I'll be honest. I'll never buy, like if a sale came up and they had it in a store and it had the solar panel on it, it's not a deal ender. Like I'll still buy that, but I will never spend money on the solar panel option on it, especially on a handgun.
Except for the EPS one, and I'll say that because the EPS one doesn't use a battery at all. So
yeah, that's different. But like, how much time my firearms see the sun compared to when they see darkness is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous. Like, even when I'm out in the sun, I carry concealed, so my red dot is not getting charged by solar. The only time that it is when I'm at the range shooting.
And don't quote me. I don't know if it's direct UV light or just any light. I just don't know enough about the technology. Like if you just set the gun down and lifted up the tray so your optic had light going to it from being in any normal room with that charger. I don't know. I haven't played.
I don't either, but a lot of time if they're not my home protection gun, they're in that cabinet. It's not light in that cabinet. Like
we'll get you one of those like little incubator lights for babies. Like
yeah, perfect. Yeah. I just don't see spending another. I think they're like $100 for the solar powered option. I don't see it.
Okay, moving on. Croak says, I've been happy with my Romeo 1 Pros. Haha, I figured out what that was. Keep in mind, SIG had to use the Delta Point Pro footprint because they wanted to get the MIL contract that spec'd the optic to be Delta Point Pro. That makes sense. Newer SIG slides have RMR and Delta Point Pro mounts. I heard there's still issues though. And I've heard that the ones that have the dual mount, the RMR still, like I heard they both actually sit funny now. Like the Delta Point doesn't fit right. And then the RMR has like, there's this space in between. They didn't make it like an adapter. It's just a bigger space for either one. So I don't know though. I may be speaking out of my butt. I don't know.
But I don't care about government contracts, and if that's why SIG did it, then just do it for your government gun and all of your everyday Joe gun that built your business. Just do an RMR.
Yeah, and Crook saying same reason the new EOTech MDRS Delta Point Pro want that government money. And I'm gonna say I'm a little frustrated with that. That like a whole bunch of these gear companies like GBRS are aiming their products towards a government contract. So you as the civilian basically have to suffer through it.
Yeah, but that's fine, dude. Like all you have to do, it's just the outer casing and it's just machine work. How many red dots does HoloSun sell? Rough guess, off the top of your head. 8?
30.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch. So have 2, flat cut and a curve cut. Like problem solved.
So Angry Sarge, hey, what's up? He says, "Hey guys, want to drop in for a bit? Say, hey, been busy finishing up, prepping to leave. Prepping to leave where? Where you going? Fill us in."
He gone.
Everybody saying hi to Angry Sarge. Angry Sarge hat tip to Joe for Wizard +1, Wizard
Yes,
Dem,
thank
Wizard
you.
Hacker, Wizard Truth Boogs, Wizard Dance Magic. Zach says 50 days for a can would be amazing. Yeah, let me know. I really want to know how you did yours. So 12 Bravo, what up? Welcome. Haven't seen you in a little bit. Orange 9, hello, fellow gunpowder consumers. What's going on? I love seeing that orange CZ Shadow 2 you got there. So that's pretty awesome. So Misfit's
guns shoot amazing.
Oh, they're so.
I got told by a reputable source that gun shoots better than the Staccato.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. It's single action, double action, which is the same as Staccato. Yeah.
No, the Staccato ain't double action. You crazy? Go punch yourself in the face. Like step off screen and punch yourself in the face.
Double action, single. Yeah, it has. Yeah, because like, normally if the hammer's up, if you pull the hammer down, it's not obviously.
Yeah. So double action, single action means if the hammer forward, you can pull the trigger and it brings the hammer back and then releases it forward.
You're right. Sorry, yeah, punch myself.
Yeah, I know. Punch yourself in the face. It's the 1911. It is single action only. No, double action, single action, great for carrying because the hammer forward. Like normally they have a decocker. My CZ P09, it came with two. It came with either a decocker or a safety like a 1911. So I swapped it out. I put just safety on it because of my home defense stuff.
Like I would love to see a CG Shadow 2 and run it side by side with Staccato. I would probably, it'd be a hard time knowing which one I like better. I haven't actually played with one yet. We can get one for about $1,000 or so, 1,100 if you really shop around. Which is a good bit compared to a 2011. I mean, that's half the cost. So if you even think about it, that's half the cost.
Yeah, that's half the cost of the cheapest one.
True. They're like, oh, this one. It's only $5,000. Like,
yeah, dude, I want the one. I want the one that the carry model with the comp on it. Until I saw the price.
Well, I haven't seen what the price is for the comp. Normally the carry one's only like 1,800, I think, for the Staccato.
No, it's 32.
No, you're talking about there's a different one.
I'm talking about the P.
Oh, that's what I have.
The Staccato P, yeah. That's 3,200. And then you can get the Staccato P, but it has a comp on it, so it makes it like kind of a 5-inch gun. Yeah. But it has a comp on it. And I'm like, yes, dude, I want this. Yeah. Until I saw the price tag. It's over $4,000, dude.
Yeah, because you need the other barrel. You need obviously the threaded barrel.
Yeah, I don't know where they get a comp and a threaded barrel cost $2,000, but they did.
Yeah, it's Staccato. Misfit did say Reddit NFA has been showing 60 to 70 days for e-files. That's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna be I ordered one in September, and then I ordered the other one in November. Nothing happened with it, and it sat forever till March, and it finally, or till February, finally got moving on the other one. If that's the case, though, I'll still get the one that was churning and lost for forever before the original one that I ordered in September. That could be crazy. And I'm with Zach. Zach says, heck, 90 days would be dope. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll be good with any of that. 12 Bravo says, I checked my local silencer code dealer a couple weeks ago. They told me turn on for a can is 8 months. Paper, and I don't know if e-file's the same, but yeah, it's 6 to 8 months. Misfit says, so we're talking about some of his new stuff. Misfit said, I just finished up my Go Fast plate carrier setup. LA police gear low vis with unobtainium gear sled placard. I've been wanting to see that placard. So what are your thoughts? So
Misfit, you got to let her know because I love this thing and I love going fast in it. I love running in it. And right now, great segue. NotJason did his video that we still need to talk about over the week where he did, which one was it? I can't pronounce the name.
The Cannae Vakarian.
Yeah, the Cannae. And LA Police Gear still won only because the Cannae really, it came with a bunch of great stuff, but they only had black. So that's why, when they're tied, when they're that close, and then one company only has one color and the other company has like 7, then that's a deal breaker. But I want to know what you think about. That's what I'm wearing right now, the LA Police gear, and I love this carrier. And I have the LA Police gear level 4 plates in it. I love this thing.
I like I like Jason's review, like seeing the Vakarian, but it seemed like it was a whole bunch of pieces that I wouldn't have wanted. I mean,
No,
it's cool.
but you wouldn't have wanted because you're doing something very specifically, right? But
True.
first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to NotJason, even though you're not here. I loved the little history lesson at the beginning of that video. Like, I'm all intrigued. I'm the idiot that I can't say idiot. I'm the special person that, like, I live off of Discovery Channel and History Channel, and Shark Week's my favorite week on TV. So seeing all the history and stuff before it, I love that. I like the fact that it came with everything, because that is a one-stop shop if you want to get additional plate carrier for your house, to throw on your kids, to throw on your spouse, to just have around, to throw in a vehicle, anything like that. One-stop shop. Is it the best? No, it's not the best, but it will work for what you need it. And yeah, you just pay. I mean, it was 175 retail, but he said that you get good sales on it. So you pay that money, and you buy some plates, whatever you want to buy. I like going cheap, so I buy the LA Police gear ones. You throw them plates in it, and you're still under $400, even if you paid retail for everything, right? Well, you're around $400, and you have a kit that you can pass around.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally buy that if, like, my number one, this is my go to work kit type thing. Because, like Walsh said, I would end up changing everything out. But it's kind of like your extra guns, right? You got that one gun that you tricked out, and you put all the Gucci stuff in and made it exactly the way you want it. And then I have, like, I'm not gonna tell you how many guns I have. I have a bunch of guns that I could just pick up and be like, here's a gun for you, here's a gun for you, here's a gun for you, here's a gun for you. No, that doesn't have the nice trigger or the best red dot that I have or whatever, you know.
I'd be mad a bit. Why does mine have a bird cage on it?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Why don't I get the cool magnifier? Because it's not your gun.
Yeah, no, it's good, and it's a good point too. It's all about what you're trying to do. It definitely has its place. I can be a little bit snobbish looking at too much gear all the time, but Joe brings up a good point. If you just need a set that's all done without paying a ton of money for it, it's just finished, it's complete, and it can do all this stuff on a basic level. So yeah. I completely agree.
Or if you're just getting into this and you're like, oh, I kind of want that, but I don't think, you know, I need all that high expensive stuff, or you don't have the funds for all that high expensive stuff or all the add-ons. It's a great starter kit, and you can upgrade it or upgrade to something else later. I thought a great video that NotJason did.
And one thing, and I kind of shared this with Joe and Jason, Cannae actually, kind of a big hat tip to them. They actually watched the video and then messaged us back and kind of gave some input. They were kind of talking about how, like, one of Jason's main complaints was that back panel. He's like, how would you put magazines in there? And they're basically like, you don't put magazines in there. We kind of designed it to put medical in there, and that's how all that worked. And they kind of agreed. Like, we agree with you. One of the big sticking points is the color. We're working on getting more colors, so they are going to try to get more colors if you're interested in that Vakarian. But it's really cool that they.
And I would have liked to see NotJason grab an AR-10 mag and try to stick it in there, like.
Oh, and that big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with Cannae. I mean, I know where Jason's coming from, but they gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They gave you a full combat loadout already without the 2 pouches. And NotJason said, I wish he don't hear defend himself, but he was like, I would rather it fit an AR mag or just not be here. And I'm like, then why is it bothering you if it's just not going to be there? Like, I want it. I want to shove a little IFAK in there.
Or radio. And that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, when he was talking about that, I was like, you know what? And usually the radio is about the same size as a magazine, though. But I was kind of thinking about in that aspect of, like, hey, you could put a bigger radio in there too. And because I know you and Cody like to roll in that back slot anyway. So yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. I kind of like what they had to say. It was just mostly cool that they watched it. Like, I don't think we're a huge channel. I don't think we're anybody special. And they took the time to watch our video, gave us some feedback, and kind of said, like, hey, here's some cool stuff we're doing in the future, and we hear your complaints, and here's some things, but ultimately it was like, well, we did this for a reason. We understand that you didn't like it, but here's our reason why. And even like us as a team, we both
Boom.
agree or
And-
disagree. Like,
And that's where we grow a lot of respect for company. Like, they didn't bash our video for it.
Yeah.
They didn't put a hit out on us. They didn't want to punch us in the face. Well, that they said. But we're all allowed to have different opinion. And what's crazy is just between the three of us, we all have different opinions. Like Walsh, like right away, like, oh man, I could put a radio in that, and I'm like, ooh, try an AR10 or an IFAC, you know. And then NotJason, like, I don't even want it. If it doesn't fit an AR mag, I don't even want it.
yeah.
And that's all the different of opinions, and it's great. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And it does show kind of like where we're all thinking, though. You know what I mean? Like when we do loadout, we're probably so far behind in the comments, but like when we're doing loadouts and even kind of what we're doing, how you run your slim down, and this obviously this comms is not what I want, but like I usually try to focus on comms. Like all my stuff will have more comms, be more tricked out from the technology side. Where yours is like, no, get rid of all that. And Jason's too is like he has a different focus. So yeah, it's just interesting for all of our different.
Hey, speaking of comms, I keep meaning to say this in like every live, but I keep forgetting. So my comms are like more shouting, like, "Hey, Walsh, I'm over here." Like that's my comms, right? I know that's not right. I should have radio and stuff, but I don't. But you do the rally point symbol at every time that you do a video.
It's more just like a let's go, like come on.
Yeah, well, that's rally point right here.
Perfect. I'm ready to rally up.
Yeah. Every time you're like, all right, let's get into this. Like, where are we going, Walsh? Where's the rally point? Is that rally point Bravo, Charlie, Delta? I've lost track now. I think you've done more rally points than the alphabet by this. So, but they're all on your back porch, so I'm fine with it.
Honestly, I probably got it from you because we've probably been somewhere, and you've been like, give me a hat. I'm like, what about me? I guess that means we're leaving. Like, we're going outside. Like, why? I don't know. Joe did something. I'm going outside.
I don't know. Yeah, and then he tapped ahead and
yeah, I mean, I guess that means bring grenades. I don't have grenades. Crook says the A2 birdcage is closed on the bottom mostly to keep dust down when firing prone or off arrest. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're going way backwards, so sorry. We may have to jump forward a crap ton. Yeah. Dust when prone. So I don't know what I was doing one day. I just was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was just shooting. Like when you get in the zone, you're shooting. I'm paying attention to all these cameras and the focus and all the lenses and audio and all this stuff. And I set up the rifle on my bag and totally don't pay attention at all. It's one of those I kind of comes up, it's like kind of like an X almost. And I just set it right in there, fire around, and I had the muzzle device right in between the little like spacers, right, and it just blows the whole thing apart. I'm just like, yeah. Like, well, that's gone. Good news is
Good.
I didn't love that one.
Good. Remember when you wanted a monopod and a tripod?
They're not good. I think, okay, I'm going to pause here. I think, and I'm coming to this because you, as an inexperienced shooter, you see these things and then you're like, oh, this is going to make it so much easier to shoot. And then you go and you really shoot with them and you go, that doesn't make anything easy. Like shooting off a tripod is hard as hell. Anyone who's ever tried that, it is extremely difficult. You really got to know what you're doing. And same with monopods. Like you may be good on like gravel, but then if you switch to grass or vice versa, suddenly you're no good, or like cement. So Joe will tell me, he's going to say in just a second, that's why you shoot off a bag, because it's the same every time. Completely agree.
Yeah, all those little things to me in my eyes, and I'm probably wrong, and there's probably uses for them, but I see all those little things as range queens, dude. Like if you go to a concrete pad range and that's all you do, and you only go there to shoot, that kind of stuff is for you, because you back your truck up right there, you unload from your truck, it's the same surface every time, and perfectly flat surface every time. That's how I see them.
It's just unrealistic. That's what I came to realize. It's just unrealistic to use. It's awesome. Like if I needed to set up this situations would never really occur. Like, hey Joe, I have a secondary rifle set up in a position that's all ready to go that can get
Yeah,
one
like
off
if
need
you
to raise-
live in a two-story house and you want a gun ready to go in front of a window that you can pick up the whole thing and run to another room and set it down out and shoot out a window, I would agree with you. Like a tripod would probably work really good for that, or rooftops and stuff like that.
and I guess I'm thinking monopods.
But
Like,
it better already be in place.
yeah, no, agree. And like monopods, I had such a tough time like justifying that, particularly over a rear bag. I really like using Joe just uses the old hand. He just holds it.
I use rear bags. Yeah.
Really,
I'll
I
throw a
really
rear bag in my gun bag only for accuracy stuff, but like if zombie apocalypse happens and I'm out on patrol in a field, like no, dude, you don't have time to get your rear bag out.
You're not gonna drop.
Like,
Exactly.
oh, hold on, let me get into my dangler. That'd be the thing to carry in your dangler, dude.
I'm gonna go in there just for you. And it kind of goes to that situation of like if you're reacting to a situation, it's not the monopod's not going to be effective. The rear bag's not going to. You're gonna have to just take shots right then and there. So if
have
you're
a backpack, throw it on the ground, go prone, put your rifle on your backpack and shoot.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to be super far behind, so we're going to jump through. Oh, sorry, Orange 9 did say Dragon by Bylantec is an awesome break for a 6.5. I'm actually going to do one of those on our 20-inch build. It's only going to be 5.56, but I want to have something that would also be chemo and then have some sort of break on there if I took the silencer off. Croak says, I had really good luck with Brownell's Alumahide. Joe, I hope you know what this is. But then again, I'm in Florida, and the key to making that stuff work well is to having the can warm it up. What is that?
Aluminide is it's a finish. So bluing steel. Bluing reacts and oxidizes the high carbon content, the carbon and high carbon steel. That's the same thing for aluminum, if I'm correct. I mean, I could be way off base, but how you get like those bare metal aluminum lowers. You can use that to oxidize it, kind of bluing it for aluminum, but it turns it more black than anything.
Oh, that's still be cool. Yo, Wizard Dance Magic from the Wolf. There you go, Joe.
Yes, thank you.
Julio says, "Where's NotJason?" So he couldn't make it tonight. I'm assuming he's doing something super important. He let us know probably like an hour or two before he's not gonna be able to make it tonight. So
it's either job or family. I can guarantee. I didn't even ask you. Either job or family. Those come before the show.
And Jason loves the live chats. Like usually runs everything. So he loves doing these. So he's.
Yeah. So I'd probably guess that it's an emergency. Well, not emergency, but something popped up with family because he normally schedules stuff. But I'd be willing to bet on a job.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Misfit says I've been hearing 3 to 6 months because the outer circle is 250 MOA versus the 64 MOA circle. 3 to 6 months. So he's going back to the length of time on the ACSS reticle for time. I'm going to try it. I have it set up on an Optic on one of my carry guns, which I love it for a carry gun. I think I like it a lot more. You guys will see on that Sunday video. We'll see if I have to change the battery in 6 months. I'll let you know. I'll obviously.
Yeah, if in 3 months that isn't a problem, and I'll be with everybody on the bandwagon. Be like, 7 years, my friend.
Yes, I don't know, but if that's the case, that could be more of a problem. I think it also has to do what brightness setting you have it set at too. Like if I have it set at 7 of 9, it's gonna go faster. So we'll see. Croak said he posted a pic on Discord of one of my newer X carry slides with the RMR cut end of Vulcan. I can see that. For some reason, I'll have to find a way. So unfortunately, with only 2 of us running, with only me and Joe, it's hard for Jason will only run the comments, and then I can grab stuff off Discord and pull it up while he's talking. So unfortunately, I can't really do that right now. But what I will do is I will get a Discord. I'll get the Discord link. So if you guys, this is going to show how far behind we are. They're going to be like, oh my God, he's just not posting the Discord link. Here's a link to Discord if you want to come in and see some of the stuff that Croak is posting right now. Come in there, show your builds, show your cool stuff. I don't know what that's about.
I didn't even read it. I can't even see it.
Orange 9 says it's a technical sport orange. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it has to do something that we mentioned way before. My favorite libertarian said, I shot my buddy CZ Shadow. It's insanely flat shooting. Insane. I would love for Joe. Joe, I would love to go against you. CZ Shadow versus Staccato, and then we switch pistols. and then we run it again. I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I think that
I can. If I borrow the gun, I can shoot both.
Yeah, oh, you could, yeah, both the Staccato and the CZ Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to do it together, like blind almost.
Yeah.
But mine won't
That
be
would
blind. You know what I'm saying? So Mike says the place I bought the can from said about 2 to 3 weeks from them to my FFL. I asked FFL how long get to me. He said he has no idea. Yeah, so that's pretty normal. If people aren't familiar with the process, like the can has to get from the whoever you bought it from to your FFL, and then a lot of times then they wait till that point because it has the serial number and all this stuff to actually file your paperwork. So there's like 4 or 5 weeks before you ever even start the process. It can be kind of frustrating.
So you buy the can, it goes to your FFL. FFL calling you, you go in, you fill out all the paperwork, and that's why the company for the can knows how long it's going to take to your FFL, and the FFL have no idea until when you get it because that's in the hands of the ATF.
Yeah, and when you e-file as an individual,
could be over a year. Just FYI, it could be over a year.
It could be, and if you e-file, what happens? The same process. They get it, and then you got to go in and register and all this stuff. You got to get these PIN numbers, and then your actual FFL has to go in and request to do the Form 4, and then you have to go in with your FFL in person to actually validate that form request. You can't just do it all online. You have to go in as an appointment with them. So the e-file hopefully is faster, but there is more steps. If you have a slow FFL or a busy FFL, just be aware that will be face-punchingly obnoxious. So Orange Line says TSO is the only CZ other than the Checkmate that is hand-fitted slide and frame, 1900. I've seen so he's talking about what it's not a Shadow 2. He's saying it's the technical Sport Orange. That's what he's saying. Because I've seen the Shadow 2 go down with those orange grips go down like as low as 1100. You can if you go to the box store, yeah, they're 1900, but you can find them a whole lot cheaper than that if you really shop around.
I like the blue one.
Yeah. Michael Costanza, who I love actually, say he had a CZ P07 fully decked out, Cajun Gunworks. Sorry, I sold it. You have the CZ 09.
Yeah, it's the same exact gun, only mine's bigger.
Longer,
So the 7 was the compact. Yeah, I can see why. It's a polymer lower. I like the slides lighter. I do like that. It is a pretty good shooting gun. It's decent. But if you paid all that money for Cajun Gunworks stuff, I don't think it's going to make the gun that much better, and I would have probably sold it too, because that put that gun. I mean, I got mine for $500 out the door for the suppressor ready. So it had the high sights on it, had a threaded barrel, 21 plus 1 capacity, 2 mags. Like, that's a steal in my book. $500 out the door. And we pay 8% sales tax. So that's a steal in my book. It's well worth it for that. But if I had over $1,000 into that gun, hell yeah, I'd be mad, dude. I'd sell it too. Yeah. I would buy a 1911.
Yeah. Mike Hawks, we agree with you. We agree with you. Misfit says with 3A plates, talking about in his Joe, he's talking about his fast setup. So he has 3A plates in his kind of a rapid response setup. I've seen some other people who are doing low vis setups like yours, Joe, but they're doing the soft plates, 3A soft plates. And I think that's what I would do. Like if you told me to develop an entire covert setup, like I need you to go covert, no one knows you're carrying anything, I would do that carrier. Same one you have on the low vis.
And even to go fast, I get the reasoning why. In law enforcement, that I only wore 3A.
Yeah.
That's the norm, right? But if in my mentality and where I live, because a lot of it's open, nothingness. If it's zombie apocalypse and I have to put this on for real and defend my family, if I go down I'll be honest, if I go down my entire family, I'm probably dying. So I want to run 4. I want to stop rifle rounds. That's what I want to do.
And I run almost like you guys when you guys show me do plate carrier, I run almost level 4 because we're out in rural areas, like as soon as you step outside, it's 1,000 yards to the next ridge, to the next line of trees. And like, well,
everybody in your neighborhood has a rifle, dude. Like,
yeah,
let's be honest, you know.
I really
And
don't want to
that's
get
knowing your environment too, you know. If
don't
I'm
do
clearing houses, then yeah, probably 3A would be just fine.
yeah. So
But for
Caleb,
go fast setup, I completely agree. I know I went off on a tangent. I completely agree. If you want to run 3A, especially soft armor, it makes it a lot lighter. That's for sure.
yeah. So Caleb said, I think the best place for the Cannae Vakarian is for someone just getting started in plate carriers or young kids that want to have one. Agreed. Yep. Agreed. And I think it's, when you're just getting started and you can realize what pieces you want to change. Like a lot of danglers, like they're very basic. Some of them are just as crappy as the one they give you. I'm not saying it's crappy. It's just basic. It's no frills. I think crappy is the wrong one. No frills.
Here's my advice on that one. Don't upgrade that though. That's my advice. If it's new and you're just getting into it or whatever, don't upgrade that. Keep wearing it, keep using it, write down your notes, keep it in your head on what you would change, and buy something different. Don't upgrade that plate carrier. Keep that as a secondary. Yeah, that's like buying a Geo Metro as your first car, and now you're ready for something faster and better handling. So instead of like going and getting a car that already built like that, you try to upgrade your Geo Metro. It's just not going to turn out well.
Yeah. And then you have a second carrier. Like we all end up at a point. I said to Joe, right when the channel started, like, Joe, and now I have 2 carriers. Do I sell the first one? And he's like, what, you don't like your wife? Like, oh, okay. And then now I have like 9. I'm like, well, I like everyone in the neighborhood. But Croak says, I got one of the Cannae packs and talked to a coworker into the pack PC carrier combo with the 15% discount code. It was $157 shipped. Throw in a couple LAPG level 4 or level 3 plates and you're in business.
Yeah,
absolutely. Particularly if you got someone who's like, you're like, hey, I'm a guy with an AK with no sights, and I'm gonna defend my house. Like, bro, this is perfect. This is perfect for you in that setup.
Yeah. I agree. It's a great starter pack or a great additional or just something to have in your house. I agree. I like it.
Mike to say, Walsh, I heard GBRs is in your area. Probably something completely unrelated to your review of their belt, though. So I have to actually review the belt, and it's going to be bad. I've just been delaying the inevitable. Like, we'll just do that later. Everyone's just laughing. Like, I'll just die soon. Yep, I'll be dead. No big deal. Just disappear. Red Ram 38. I don't think we've talked to him before. Red Ram 38. So welcome to the channel. We haven't talked to him before.
He's probably gone. He ain't here no more. Like, this is stupid.
Had to be like an hour ago. He's like, I did that an hour ago. But he did. Maybe he watches it. Maybe comes back. I wonder if they ever got to my comment. The Vakarian Carrier and Legion combo just came in today. Threw in plates and first spear tubes. The buckles didn't like working with my Spiritus placard clips. Otherwise, I like it. The Spiritus, yeah. So the Vakarian clips aren't ITW Quasm. So I know it's kind of confusing, but there's like this. They're like these flatter ones. I don't know why they use some different ones, but Spiritus uses ITW Quasm. Just order the correct buckle. They cost like $1 from Mil-Spec Monkey, and get a whole bunch of different ones. So you have all the correct ones. I ordered like 5 or 6 sets just to have the right ones. But there's some other ones that I know are on the Vakarian because I have some of those buckles too that don't click in properly. So you have to do. But kind of like what Joe said, I'm with Joe. I don't know if I would have upgraded it or run like a Spiritus placard out. Nothing wrong with it. I love Cannae gear, but I probably would have done a little more like, hey, here's a simple budget setup that's just completely done and together and finished. And another one like, hey, here's a little bit more higher tier if I need that.
I'm not saying that you can't upgrade it. I'm saying you're spending all the money for the parts and then upgrade. That's like my mentality of buying a complete AR rifle and then buying all the different stuff to put into it. It's like, well, you paid for 2 trigger, you paid for 2 stocks, you paid for 2 handguards. Just build it. Right? Yeah. That's my mentality. So,
and I would much like if you already have like a Spiritus placard and first spear tubes, I would say like, all right, we'll do a cry setup. Do like a cool
and use what you have for now, and then later on just transfer that stuff over.
You have the other pieces. You have the other cummerbunds. It's all complete. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
waiting for that L back, bro. That's what I'm waiting for.
That's gonna be a good one. I should text him today, like, hey, we need this.
Yeah.
So this is a good question for you, Joe. I don't necessarily understand this question, so you may. I said, Artua Avalon, which I don't think we spoke to before, so welcome to the channel also, is a plate carrier's ability of side entry a factor for y'all? I don't know what that means.
To
Side entry.
me, I don't know what that means either. There's two things that pop in my mind. Either protection on the side or like
Side plate
I
bag?
yeah, maybe, but I will routinely like only undo one strap and take it off. I don't know what
Right.
he's talking about.
Yeah, I only ever undo one. Usually it's whatever side is less annoying. Like if this one's harder to connect because it has maybe radios or like another side may have mags and it may be harder to connect. So then I'll just always undo the other one, so I can connect it easier.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
if that's what you're talking about, then I'll answer the first question. For the side plates, no, not really. I have one kit set up with side plates in it, and if the crap's really bad, then yeah, I'm throwing that on. But no, I don't really look for plate carrier with side plates because it's just more money and more weight. Yeah, I mean it's dumb, but if you get hit under the armpit, there's no plate there, and that's a kill shot. That's double heart lung or double
these are.
heart, double lung heart. That's what I meant.
I mean, I'm running side plates on this DM, and it definitely affects your ability to move. You think it'd be something that simple wouldn't really bother you? It really does.
Yeah,
But like
they're a
that's
little
it.
low. I'll be honest with you, they're a little low. I think down there, just like underneath your plates, if you get shot in the gut, down there, you have a pretty good chance of surviving as long as it goes straight through and don't bounce around a lot. It's underneath your armpits. That's
I like seeing them where they start too. Like, and this one can't do it because it has the QD. But I like it when actually this starts right up here. So it's more of like front centered because I'm with you, Joe. Like, I'd be more worried about this area here, like this whole problem area,
yeah.
than necessarily like way back further. So I don't know.
I mean, it's a 6-inch plate that if you actually get hit there, it will stop it.
Just
As
break all
far
my
as side entry, like if you're talking about the other thing where you kind of only undo one strap and put it on, no, I don't look for that. It's not like a criteria that I look for in a plate carrier, but I just go off of whatever Walsh taught me to buy anyway. So
I think I think Mike was talking about Jason. He says, job or family comes before the show. Get your priorities in order, Joe. No, that's Jason. We tell him like he's
right,
got to
I'm here.
just shun his family.
My wife almost had to carry in all the groceries by herself. Don't tell her I said that.
Yeah. Don't let her watch this. Arturo Avalon asks one more time. Says, do you believe that common plate bags should be able to accommodate 10 by 12, 1-inch thick with ballistic backer and comfort pads? I don't. I think they should be able to accommodate 1-inch thick because that's what we're seeing in the next tier of plates, like the new, like the what are the polyethylene, whatever it is, the poly ones. They have to get thicker in order to go lighter. It's kind of, the energy has to go somewhere. So I don't think they really need ballistic backers and comfort pads. I mean, if you're running a level 4 plate and a ballistic backer to give you 3A on top of that and comfort pads, no, I don't think so. I mean, like a good carrier like a K19, you don't need comfort pads. Like you're good, you're comfy. Like you don't need to worry about that. I don't know, Joe. What are your thoughts?
I don't really have anything to add to what you already said. Besides, I mean, as long as it fits the plate, that's all I care about. 1-inch plates, yes. The comfort part of it, I don't know. Put a thicker jacket on. I don't know, man. But I've been in my life where I'm absolutely miserable outside the wire, and you just suck it up and whatever. So these are actually really comfortable. My kit weighed 50 pounds. And I've gone a lot of miles and put a lot of mile in foreign soil and 50 pounds of kit. So
yeah,
not comfortable at all. So these are fine to me.
Raw Cookie Dough says, don't forget the 20% REI membership coupon code. I don't know what that means, but either way, Raw Cookie Dough, good to hear from you. If you guys know what he's talking about, fantastic. I don't.
Is it TLDCO?
That would be the funniest if it was. R2 Avalon says, again, brother, the topography on mags look dope. These are from Ballistic Advantage. We love them. They got a cool little spade that we love. So they're a little bit pricey, but they are awesome.
Ballistic Advantage had Blem M4E1. So if you don't know, M4E1 lower, you can get them from Arrow or Ballistic Advantage. Now, they had Blem ones on sale. I think I ordered 3 or 4. I forget now. Yeah.
Barrel?
So, huh?
You said barrels or lowers?
No, lowers. M4E1 lowers. Because I only have one rifle that's not painted, so I'm definitely changing that one out. I like the spade better than the A.
I'm about to say that's good though, because that means you're gonna do a new Cerakote, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna be like crazy Arctic / dark stuff, like grays and blacks and stuff with pops of orange, dude.
Yeah. So Ironsight says, dang, I'm late. He says, what did I miss? Start
Nothing.
over. All right. So
Okay.
anyway, hey, welcome.
All right.
This
Welcome.
is live chat. So this is where we could talk about all sorts of gear. It's St. Patrick's Day. Hope you're wearing green. Joe, did you want to add more? This kind of gives us a good segue though. Do you want to add more about spray painting your rifle? Kind of like anything else you want to add in there? I want to say that I think it was an important thing you mentioned when it comes to building depth within the rifle when you're spray painting, that you talked about when the pantyhose was closer, it gives you the thick lines. And when it's further away, number one, number two, I guess, kudos on the pantyhose. That was an awesome idea. But when it was further away, those lines that it was making were actually blended more. So you had different ways to break up the silhouette. I really thought that was kind of my big takeaway, knowing different ways to break up. Don't just do the same one all over the place. Just see that people do that.
I kind of just wanted to inspire, right? That's why I did the video. I wanted to inspire. The sky's the limit. Like, you could literally do that. Like, I don't want any of that. I just want a tan gun, right? Okay. Well, here's an idea. Start out with just getting the pantyhose in different colors and just do one area, like this big on the lower receiver, right? Just do one area that big. Then put a Punisher skull sticker over top of it. Spray paint your entire rifle tan, okay? And then pull that sticker off. So then you'll have an entire tan rifle, and then underneath the Punisher will be all the different color with all the different pantyhose design and stuff, all within the skull with some blacks and some brown and some greens or whatever, orange. I don't care what you do. But then you have your entire tan rifle. I wanted to inspire. That's what I wanted to do. And I wish this showed up better, dude.
Yeah,
I don't think I can adjust light or anything.
Yeah.
But I could show you where. Let me try to change this.
It's almost Cryptek to some degree. I mean, I like the
but like up on top, you see all the
the
distant ones. But like right across here, you could really see where the pantyhose like got really close. There it goes, really close together and real fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no, I just like playing around with it. And don't get me wrong, the laundry bags, the mesh laundry bags, it looks cool. I just wanted to give other idea and try something different.
Yeah, and we know
and see what I could create with just a couple of Rattle Can and as little time I had to do it.
Yeah, no, it worked. It looked good. I thought it looked good, and I've seen you do some crazy designs, so no, it was cool. Okay, well, we'll move on with some comments. Artua Avalon says, Ironside Army, how do you feel about 30-degree offset irons at 1.93 minimum height? Okay, good grief. Very specific, but he says 32.5 degrees only. I don't know if he's being truthful. I've been playing with the Valhalla Tactical Rook, and I think this solves the problem of offset irons. Joe and I and a few others have talked about it, and we get a little bit annoyed when we get to offsets because the angles, you don't know what you're getting. Like, you order an offset mount and you're like, oh, it's whatever random angle this is. This is not what I wanted. Or you got some other angle that runs into your optic and you didn't know that.
That was my problem.
Yeah, and so the Rook is the only one I know of that allows you to articulate. So you may be
Yeah,
like,
but
hey,
he's actually talking about offset irons.
irons.
Like,
Yeah, I know. I'm going,
splurge and buy a red dot. If you're having to do offsite, that's because you got a really good optic on your rifle. Splurge and do a red dot as an offset.
I like how you've gone there, because when we started, you're like, Walsh, you are the biggest moron with an offset red.
No, I said you're a moron for running an offset at all.
Sure,
That's
okay,
where
true.
I was at.
I'll give you that. And it's still quite.
But offset iron, now you have something. You have more weight at the end of your rifle, which I don't care. Ounce equal pounds when you're tired or when you're trying to hold something up. Go hold up a 1 pound book and hold up a dictionary all the way out and see which one drops first. And it's something else to snag, dude. And people are like, well, you can get pop-ups. Okay. So, well, then you bought pop-up irons and you spent as much as a red dot.
Those M-Bus Pros are no joke. They're not that good. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
It's all expensive.
We'll keep going. Raw Cookie says, I only take I can't understand this. I only take one side of the cummerbund off and slide it in like a tiny car door. That's what I do too. And I smash my head every single time. Like I smash my head in the plates because I have a big head. And they're saying that's the secret sauce. Yeah, that's the secret. Yeah. Avalon says, preferably I would don on off my plate carrier via the side tubes and shoulder clip. I've always called it like a side entry, like an outcast. I almost never, like, the only time I would ever touch the shoulder buckle is probably when I'm literally stuck. Like if I was actually
drowning, you're down and now I'm working on you trying to do,
Then we take that off. But otherwise, just regular donning and doffing, I don't touch those. They're like an emergency thing. And even if you do, you're very likely to drop. Like you basically have to decide that your plate carrier is done. You drop those because your plates are going to drop, and you could damage them. I don't recommend doing that. Yeah, don't do that. Raw Cookie just says comfort pads, in my honest opinion, are for plates that aren't.
Maybe you only do one side though. Think about it. One cummerbund and one side. That makes more sense for side entry.
I guess then I don't.
Teach his own, man.
Yeah, you could.
Dawn away.
I just have no flexibility, so I have to be like fishing that side. I don't know. Maybe I'm lazy. So speaking of, I want to say you're gonna be proud of me, bro. You're gonna be super proud of me. So Joe,
you're no longer gonna do a fanny pack.
No, I'm still doing that. I've been keeping up with my I hope everybody else has been too. Keeping up with our mountain climber challenge, and I've just been kind of adding it on to everything else I've been doing.
I was running late this morning, and luckily I remembered. I just did it like 30 minutes before coming down here. And twice this week now, I've been able to do it for the whole 3 minutes without taking even a second break. But I am doing the cheater. I'm doing like the kind of like you're walking upstairs, only horizontally.
My shoulders give out, man. I don't know if I'm just been lifting.
Dude, I'll stretch out more and I'll come in more and stuff like that.
Okay, I can see it. Maybe I need to do that then. I keep kicking my legs, but then stretch my shoulders. Maybe I'll try that. But I'm keeping it up. But like I even lifted the other day, and like I did my mountain climbers before it, and I'm like, oh my god. So when all the blood's in my legs, and I can't lift for nothing. But it's working. Like I put on.
I wonder what everybody's doing. So Walsh and I were talking about this. So if you start off with both your feet like in a push-up position, right? Then all you can do kind of the going one leg up, one leg up, one leg up, one leg up, kind of like you're climbing stair, right? But there's another way to do mountain climber where you start with one leg in and you start with one leg out, and you actually like
jump,
kind of hop up your feet and do both legs at the same time, and I'll intermix them.
That's exhausting.
I did 2 minutes and 35 seconds of kind of the stepping one tonight, and then I'm like, all right, let's go. Like I'm cursing at myself in the garage, like yelling and screaming at myself. And then I switched for the last 25 seconds to the jumping ones.
Well, more part, I can't go the whole way still, but maybe that's just because I'm mixing everything else up. But I will say, I've been doing all my running and all my other stuff, and I lift in my K19, and I was just interesting. Like I went to go do pull-ups and stuff, so I throw on the K19 to go do pull-ups, and it was a good bit too big, and I was like, I have to cinch this down. Like that's a good sign that all this is working and is doing something, that I'm having to adjust my carrier.
Well, I'm doing for science, right? This is strictly for science. I'm not doing anything but the mountain climbers. I haven't changed my diet. I'm taking one for the team, and I'm not running or lifting or doing anything else except for mountain climbers, for science. And it's made zero difference whatsoever.
I did the complete opposite, where I changed my entire diet, added it to all my workouts, and got way better about doing my workouts because I'm doing. I'm already doing 3 weeks of mountain climbing.
Oh no, they're a great science experiment, and for me, it's had zero effect. I'm still slowly gaining weight. I can't wait until, dude. We had like 8 inches of snow on my vehicle this morning.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's crazy weather.
I want to see everybody, like, hopefully people send us their actual before and afters, but me and Joe are going to do before and afters. Joe's will be way funnier if he's actually bigger afterwards. Like, oh yeah, this is a great video, guys. But that was kind of the joke at the beginning. We're like, hey, well, so let's do this. This guy got super ripped from doing 3 minutes of mountain climbers. We're like, bull crap. You don't get ripped in 3 minutes.
No, you change your diet.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do everything. Yeah. So, okay. So we got about 10 minutes left. So I'm just going to do all the members chat. So just so I have an opportunity to go through all the members and give them an opportunity to still be heard. Caleb did mention over to Avalon, say, if you're wanting comfort and the ability to do a slide on like you want, look at the Agilite K19. We've all talked about it. Great carrier. I need to buy Joe one for Christmas or something. I just need to.
No, I want the L back, dude.
Oh, you want that? That's right. I'll get you the L back. That's all right. Misfit says, anyone printed and laminated maps of your area seems like it could be useful.
Dude, great idea. Great idea.
No, you can write
but no, I haven't.
And something we do in and take it to the next level, Misfit, we do in the military. We use the what are those, Joe? Use to mark the vehicles, the chalk pens.
Oh, grease pencils.
Grease pencils, yeah. So it's a maintenance thing. Most people don't know about it, but grease pencils are awesome because they're pretty permanent, particularly on laminate, but they're also easy to remove. A lot easier than dry erase. Like dry erase.
Yeah, well, dry erase, if you get it even remotely wet, it's done. Grease pencil, not.
Grease pencil will stay forever. You have to like kind of.
And you can write on glass with them. You can do all kinds of cool stuff, and they kind of peel. Some of them peel down. So it's like tightly wrapped paper, and you like peel it down as it goes down.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Hopefully it does. Like, if you're gonna do that, Misfit, get a grease pencil. It's what we mostly use when we do those laminate sheets. If we have some more like maintenance stuff that we use, that's what we normally use.
And like purposely mark it wrong. I know that sounds stupid, but like circle a place and write rendezvous or like stash, weapon stash or something that is just your local Walmart or whatever. And then, but.
So Scott's not a member, but I do want to say hi. We haven't said hi to Scott yet. So hi, Scott. I am saying hi to a couple of these people. One more quick one I'm going to comment on where this just baffles me. Avalon says, Caleb, the K19 is the top 5 of considerations. I don't know what the other 4 are, but they better also be K19s.
Yeah.
After having so many plate carriers.
Hey, if you don't know, go to our YouTube channel. Click on. You have them all under playlists. Do you have them all under playlists?
Yeah. There's a plate carrier playlist. Yeah.
Yeah. So go to our YouTube channel. Click on playlist. You will find more information than you can stomach about plate carrier from Walsh. So that's his thing.
I've kind of shifted a little bit, but yeah, this is way too much. Croak said, Misfit, you can actually buy laminated Rand McNally state maps on Amazon, about $10 or $15. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, we'll let Joe drink on this one. Ironsight said Ballistic Advantage, Spade, Gang. Yeah, we love them. We love their stuff. It's much on all my helmets.
Dude, Brownell right now has Arrow M4E1 for $99.99. They're not even blemished, and they're under $100.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to work through these members' comments real quick. I think it would be a good option for you. Caleb says, I think it would be a good option for you as it has the ability to do the shoulder and cummerbund QDs, and it's not really designed to need much for backers in terms of comfort. Talking about K19. It's fantastic. Ironsight says the spray job looks kind of like a Cryptek pattern. I said that too. It looks really good. Caleb says, not sure Avalon. Talking to something else. I use a battle belt, so my holster is on the belt. Never seen any of TLD use a chest holster. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Do not do a chest holster. That is the doo doo.
No. Okay. If I've seen that once in my law enforcement world, right? And he also had what is it called, man? I forget now. The Serpa holster, the Blackhawk Serpa holster, which we're specifically told that we're not allowed to have. So he's an officer. Oh, crazy surprise. And he shows up to all of this training, month-long training before we deploy, and he has his Blackhawk Serpa mounted right here with a pistol, right? We're out on the range, and it's pretty sandy, pretty gritty, and we had to go prone a bunch of times. Then we had to do transitions. He had to take an entire kit off, and it took us 10 minutes to clear the junk from behind that Serpa button in order to get the stupid pistol out of the holster. Don't do it, man. Put it on your chest rig, put it here, and go prone. But I mean, if you're backpacking out in the woods and you're worried about grizzly bears, sure, have it right here and kill a grizzly bear, no problem. I get that. But if you're actually talking about a plate carrier, like, no joke, this is zombie apocalypse time, do not put it here. Go prone and try to shoot prone. Just have fun. You're gonna be rocking back and forth. You're gonna be so unstable. You're gonna be so inaccurate that you're gonna be like, this is dumb.
Like, I have a hiking rig you're talking about where I put a holster on, and it's a hiking rig, and it's right there, like it's right on my chest, and I can just grab it. Hey, mountain lion, but it's not like I'm not using that in an offensive scenario. It's purely defensive scenario. Yeah. Don't do it on your. There's nothing says mall cop like the pistol on the chest. Like, you just don't do that, because then where are you gonna reload off of? Another maga? I don't know. The whole thing just drives me crazy. Don't do that.
Yeah, and honestly, I try to get everything off of my rig. What?
Misfit saying only uses of a chest holster I can see would be hunting or hiking.
There you go. See, already answered.
So Croak did say the last 25 seconds mountain climber is that last 25-second mountain climber is the way we did them in boot camp as a 4 count.
Yeah, dude. The 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Yeah, dude.
Okay, Caleb's got our last comment, and then we're going to talk about some videos, and we'll close it out. Caleb says, holster placement needs to match your mission. As the saying go, mission dictates gear. Absolutely. It also causes a significant problem when we start talking about mission. If I have a pistol here, and I have a rifle here I want to transition to, it is very, very much in the way of a bunch of other things.
Slings, guns, just go to the range to try it out, and if you're being open and honest, I'd be willing to bet a good amount of money that you take it off your chest.
Yeah, it would be I can just think of that disaster. Just
the pure fact that an officer showed up for combat training with it on his chest should tell you all that you need to know.
Yeah, okay, so this is a good comment to end the day with. Zach says, Serpas are for pilots.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Joe, any videos you're currently working on? I know you kind of did one and you've been working and a bunch of other stuff, so I don't know if there's anything you're currently working on or on the plate. Obviously, you did talk about a new build you're putting together or starting to put together, and that means some Cerakote action.
No, it's already together. It's the one that I couldn't sell.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the twinsies that we built for thin line defense, and we sold one, and I'm like,
I'm not selling them.
Yeah, and I bought it off of thin line defense.
Yes,
I still haven't painted that, so it's black and it has an Arrow M4E1 lower. But now that I have these 4 coming in, I think I bought 3 or 4. Now they have all the one coming in. I'm gonna swap that out. So yeah, I have plenty of lower to build other people's stuff. Maybe I bought 3 and 1 in the cabinet, so I have 4 lowers ready. I'm just getting ready for some gun laws coming up.
Well, I'm excited for you. I always like seeing the paint stuff you do. You always end up doing something unique, and then all of a sudden I need to buy more stuff so that I can get it painted in the new style you have going for that summer. So that's usually how it goes. So
my favorite part about doing any painting, I take pictures along the way and I share them with the guys. And they're like, oh, it's perfect, don't touch it. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And they're like, don't do it, don't do it. And then I do it, and they're like, okay, never mind. That looks a lot better.
Yeah. So it's always a good, like, I wish you guys could be part of that, where we, like, he starts the day and he's like cleaning it, taking everything apart, and starts to spray the first coat. And they'll spray one color, like, dude, just stop there. It's just good with just one color. And then it's like, oh wait, no. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, the Cryptek, they definitely did not want me to like dust different color in to kind of blend and break up some. They wanted those super crisp, all clean lines. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's
Walsh
okay.
wanted one size hex on that gun that shall not be mentioned. He sold it. He wanted one size hex on the whole thing. And I'm like, I told my daughter, because she was helping me, who got engaged today, by the way. So big shout out to my daughter. Congratulations.
On too, obviously.
But she was helping me. And I'm like, no, I'm going to use all the different sizes, and I'm going to put different blotches here. And then I'm going to use blue. And she's like, well, didn't he just want it one size? Well, yeah, but that's dumb. Well, did he say he wanted blue? No, he didn't. He just said he wanted it just one size and gray. That's all he said. That's all he wants. And she's like, well, what if he doesn't like it? I'm like, actually, I'm hoping he doesn't, because I'll buy it. And
that's how, remember, and that's how 5.56. That's what started all. You're like, well, I'm hoping you hate this, because I want to buy it off you. And it was probably still one of the coolest paint jobs I think we have. And you were just like, dude, I just hope you hate it, so you can just box it. You almost didn't send it to me. You're like, I'm about
dude,
to
like, seriously, like, you know how like people go to the pound and they end up trying to talk themselves out of getting another dog? That's how I felt at the FedEx.
Yeah, you're
like God's honest truth. I took it out of the trunk, walked halfway to the store, and turned around and walked back and put it in the trunk. Like, people were probably like, what is this idiot doing? But then I was like, no, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to do my paint job, and I can build the same gun and paint it my way. And that's what I did. And we both have white guns. Mine have the Punisher skull on it and the blue in it, with the lines to match my CZ, and Walsh's identical twin. Besides, I have the fluted barrel. You don't, but it's identical. His is the white gun with the burnt bronze hexagons on it. So
I love those hexes. They just pop in the sun. I love it. Anyway, Scott, you're going to get our last comment. Walsh, Agilite Gear has one of your rig pics on their homepage, scrolling picture thing. That's cool. There's actually a few of them. They have a few different pictures of me. They had one picture of me where they had my face and everything. So they just put this square, like, black block over my face. I'm like, bro, like, let me give you a better photo. So I gave him one, like the cool blurred out thing, whatever. I was like, I don't care, but whatever. So there's actually 4 or 5 on there. I think
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. And
thanks for letting us know, though. If you see any of our other stuff out there, let us know.
Yeah. And we're on their newsletters. We love them. I talk to them all the time. We give them feedback on gear. I love their stuff. They're phenomenal people. Same with HRT. Those are just great people to work with. I just love working with HRT just simply because of how nice they are. Same with Agilite. Just great people.
LBAC. We need one.
I'll text Chris. So I'm going to give you guys 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you what I'm working on. So tomorrow you're going to have a video, Javelin Concepts Jack Pack. This is actually a removable plate bag. I think Joe's going to be really mad. It kind of goes into their whole ecosystem, though. You can't just add this into any carrier. I mentioned it as a negative, but it's also, they design their carrier so much different than anybody else that they design it almost from the ground up. Like, how can we make this so we can do all these cool things? So it's frustrating you can only use their stuff, but I'm telling you, Joe's gonna see it and be like, I want that whole family. I want that whole assortment. And he's gonna be mad. But I know LBAC, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I've never even seen one in person, or even tried one, or even seen a review on it. It just looked cool, and I want to try it.
And I understood enough about the technology when I was looking at HRT stuff that it is my favorite carrier combo of anything is the Cry SPC and the Eagle Ergo, because of what it's doing in terms of rigidity and flexibility. And the LBAC is exactly that. Like, I looked at it, I'm like, you guys just basically integrated an Eagle Ergo into your carrier. And they're like, yeah, basically. So Sunday video, then I'm going to do you guys voted last week. You guys wanted to see the Holosun 507C versus the Primary Arms 507C Vulcan. So I think Joe's going to hate that video too. I really do.
I'm looking forward to that video. I'm glad everybody voted the way it was. I didn't know if I'm allowed to vote. So
No, you can always vote. You just can't win. That's totally. Joe, go ahead, closing comments from you, and then we'll go and close it out. So we got a little over an hour and 34 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot coming up. I do want to get more shooting in this summer. I got my 308 with it's the old school primary arms scope and reticle on it that I want to go out and shoot now that ammo coming in. I have a whole bunch of 9mm to go shoot. I have my IPA 40.40 builds. I have like 4 of them to go and shoot because I don't trust my wife on anything that I haven't shot. So I gotta go do that. Now I need to go compare the CZ versus the Staccato. That will be fun. I just have a whole bunch of stuff to do, just no time, money, or ammo, or weather to do it. So
the weather's been a big sticking point. Yeah.
Dude.
And I've been talking to Joe a little about it. I'll let the cat out of the bag. Look, we've been talking to OpsCore also. So you're going to see a cool lineup, a ton of different OpsCore gear. So you'll be able to see all of it as we move through everything. But I am swimming in way too many projects. I'm going to try and do those mesh, like the mesh-tastic radio things I promised you guys. Otherwise, it's going to always stay in the middle of the stack, and I'm never going to get to it. So I'm going to try and do that really soon.
I think let us know if you're still here. Let us know. Kind of NotJason thing. I don't want to step on a toe, but we want to hear from you. He does the subscription boxes, which would probably be something that I could do because I don't have to be outside and blah, blah, blah. But if you want to see different subscription boxes where NotJason posts his stuff and then I subscribe to something completely different and then post my stuff, let us know in the comment. Give us ideas what you want to see. Not just gear. Again, that takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and that Walsh thing, and he's packed. So if it's shooting something or doing something like that, where it's just unboxing and showing you what came in the box and talking about it, just let us know what your ideas are, and I'll try to get to it.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for coming to live chat as always. Thanks for letting us steal some of your time, and thanks for hanging out with us and giving all your
Wizard dem knees, Wizard truth boogs.
Wizard Days Magic. All right, everyone. Have a good one. Take care of yourself. I don't know. Can I do this? Oh, I got this. Here we go.